Hello. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Welcome back to the podcast. My name is Ariana Dieva. I am the host of The Civil Point with moi, Ariana Dieva. It is right now. Oh my God, what time is it? I don't even know what time it is right now. It's like 12 in the morning now at this point. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we're just making sure everything's up and going here because I've been having trouble with my streaming. I've been having trouble with my recording, and I spent like $2,000 on this laptop, and I'm just like, what's going on? So I'm just trying to make sure everything is working. So give me like a quick second, please, so I can just, see how everything is doing right now, because right now it looks like it's good, but is it really good? It is good. Okay, we're all good. We're good. We're good. We're good. Okay, we're good. Okay, cool. Seems like everything's working. Yay, I love that. I love that so much. We're turning that off. I don't want to hear that. Cool. Anyway, so welcome back to the Civil Point podcast with none other than your host, moi, Ariana Dieva. If you haven't already, you guys can go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on brand new content. We talk about all the insanity that continues to corrupt our government and continues to infiltrate our just society as a whole and destroy American democracy as we once knew it. And every day it continues to get worse. But I hope you guys all had a great Christmas. I kind of took a step back from streaming, because I don't know what the hell was going on with my laptop. Like, I just had no clue. I was like, I just bought this thing and it's just like pooping out on me. I'm like, what the hell? Spent so much money, but then I fixed it. But then the stream stuff was not working. I was like, I spent so much money on the microphones that everything, like, we're streaming. It's happening. We're not cutting it. We're not just giving up here. So yeah, Christmas was like chill, relax for me. Nothing crazy happened. I hope you guys all had a good Christmas, and I know I really just tried to take a step back from the insanity that is our government, the insanity that is America currently right now. And I tried to just, put everything, all the mumbo jumbo in the back of my mind and just like try to relax, because honestly, like, you can't dive yourself into this um every day. Like, you just like can't. Hi everyone. Sorry, I just got onto the chat here. Um 1 second. I can't even read. Hi, Jeffrey. Hi, Typer. Hi, um, Ederson. I guess that's your name. Gonzalez. Hi. Yeah. But yeah, I hope everyone had an amazing Christmas. Mine was chill. I had to put everything to the side because I was just like so stressed out with buying presents, buying this, buying that. And it was just stress travel. It was just so stressful. So I put everything to the side and I was like, let me just focus on Christmas, get through Christmas. I got through Christmas. And I hear Donald Trump has had 42,000 fits ever since like I stopped streaming a little bit. But it is what it is. So let's get into it, because we know I wanted to talk about the Epstein files. The Epstein files is a very prominent topic of, discussion. A lot of different documents and pictures and implications and criminality came out with these Epstein files. And I didn't go through the batch that was released. I kind of just took like the snippets that I found online, and I was just like, wow, this is like really bad. Like, I just don't understand how someone can be accused of something like this. Like, how can you be a sitting president and have people accuse you of such horrible, horrendous, crazy, disgusting, disturbing, demented, inhumane crimes? Like, I'm a person, and I'm pretty sure no one's going to accuse me of the things that our president is being accused of, let alone like just being implicated in. It's just insanity. And it talks to kind of like the whole 1 minute. I think my stream is effing up again. I'm pretty sure it is. Is it effing up? I think it's effing up. I think it's effing up. I don't know what's going on. Whatever. But um it just speaks to the complete insanity that our government continues to display when you have someone in our office that is such a high yielding power individual and he's being implicated in these heinous, inhumane, disgusting crimes. And it's like, who are you associating with? Who are you like around that you are entertaining or could be witness or could be involved in these kinds of situations against children? And it's just like, even if he is innocent, which I don't think he's innocent at all, I think he fully participated in anything that has to do with Epstein because they were so close. It's like, even if you were just a bystander, you did not speak up. Trump, even if Trump wants to say, oh, I witnessed something, but I couldn't speak up, he did not speak up. He did not do the right thing and speak up. So as much as he wants to say he's innocent, he's not implicated, he didn't do anything criminal when it comes to Epstein, he did because he was around Epstein, he knew what Epstein was doing, and at the least of it all, he should have told the authorities that this man was hurting children if Trump was innocent. But guess what? He couldn't because he was not innocent. So it's just insane to me that we have a president. This is like the embodiment of a psycho society where we have a president who is being implicated in such heinous crimes and people still support him. Now, I'm not going to say that everyone's still supporting him because honestly, Republicans have shut up ever since this, last batch of files. I really haven't heard anything from them defending him because it's like, it's indefensible. And finally, people are starting to wake up to what so many people have been screaming from the rooftops for years and years and years. And it's like, this man is a disgusting human being. He's a grifter. He is a rapist. Like, he assaults people. And not only is it documented, and not only have people spoke up about it, and not only has he been sued and found convicted of certain crimes, like, how can you continue to turn a blind eye when there's all this evidence that stacks up? Like, what do you need? What's the final nail in the coffin? Do you need a children's dead body on a platter at that point? It's like, come on. You lay with, you kind of, birds of a feather flock together. That's what it is. But I really just wanted to go into it tonight because I didn't go through all those Epstein files that got released. But what I did do, one second, give me here, let me pull this up here. What I did do is go on X because X always has everything that you want to know. And even though I do hate X and it's more of a Christian conservative ecosystem of misinformation, sometimes you get some, actual truth out of it. And it's funny how much truth you get when you search Trump and Epstein. So let's go into it. All right, so here we go. So I wanted to pull this up because obviously we know it's a cover-up. And I want to say this very carefully as well. Give me 1 second here. I think my camera is off center here and I don't like it. I'm a perfectionist. Sorry. Yes. So one thing I want to say is that this is totally a cover-up. We all know that this Epstein debacle, this Epstein criminality of it all is just a cover-up because I think this goes so much deeper than just Donald Trump. Yes, Trump is trying to protect himself and preserve himself from going to federal prison and being put under the jail, for sure. But I think this goes so much deeper to a concept in an area that a lot of the American public is not ready for. It goes so much more globally. And I don't think the American public is ready for the magnitude of what is being done by high-ranking individuals in our government and internationally. I was never a conspiracy theorist. I'm very much someone who is like, I need my facts, I need them in front of me, and I need them tangible so I can make an actual decision. But what's coming out in these files is so viciously disturbing that it's like maybe these conspiracy theories are true. Maybe these people that are talking about praying to demons and gods and this whole spiritual warfare is actually true. And I've always, like I said, I like tangible facts that I can create my own consensus and decision off of. But when it comes to this, when it comes to people reporting heinous crimes to the FBI and the FBI completely ignoring these people and their claims, and then all of a sudden people ending up dead, it's like, this is a cover up. This is a cover up for some sort of satanic ritual that these people are perpetrating across internationally and hurting children in the process. And this is why I always say, when people continue to sit here and point fingers, there is 4 fingers pointing back at you, right? Yeah. There's 4 fingers pointing back at you. And it's just like Trump, MAGA, the Republicans, they're continuously always pointing the fingers at other people, other demographics, for hurting children, for hurting women, for hurting the most vulnerable in our society. And yet they continue to contribute to a society that looks to harm those people they're saying they protect. When the truth is, they look to create and take power so they can manipulate the people that they want to manipulate. And here's the problem. When you continuously blame other people for your problems, when you continuously sit here and say, oh my God, it's someone else's fault that I'm going through this, it's going to come back to you. Because the truth is, you're not doing anything to fix your own life. Trump is sitting here saying that Democrats are the ones in the Epstein files. Democrats are the ones that are not helping the poor. Democrats are the ones that are taking away food stamps from people. Democrats. But the truth is, it's him. He's literally the president of the United States. Not only that, but not only is he the president of the United States, he's had the House, the Senate, he's had all 3 branches of government practically consolidated with him, and yet it's still Biden's economy. But yet he's still touting that it's the most amazing economy we've had. It's the dichotomy that doesn't exist when it comes to this presidency. So is it Biden's economy where we are fucked? Is it Biden's economy that we are completely destroyed and we can't afford homes or groceries? Or is it Trump's economy that, oh my God, we're doing so amazing? I'm confused because every 2 seconds it's a different story. But from my own personal life, I can tell you that the cost of groceries has risen under Trump. The cost of gas has risen under Trump. And don't sit here in my comments and say, oh my God, it's where you are, it's because you're in New York. No, like, I don't believe that bullshit. I highly believe that our president does play a huge factor in how our economy continues to grow and how inflation continues to grow. So all these lies that Donald Trump continues to spew out is just disturbing, disgusting, it's annoying, it pisses me off, and I can't do it. But back to the Epstein files, I want to go ahead and take a look at some of the files that came out, because some of this stuff is that I've heard whispers about, that people have come to me about, that I've, kind of read here and there over the last few days. It's really disturbing. It's evil. It's evil. And that's why I say when they're pointing the finger that everyone else is evil, it's truly them. It's truly Trump. It's truly the Republicans. It's truly MAGA, the manipulated base of maggots that are the evil ones. So let's go ahead and look at this. So I'm just on X right now, and I'm just going to scroll through X really because, what else is there to do? So there's never been a cover-up like the cover-up of the Epstein files, it makes Watergate seem downright quaint. Thousands of children got AR'd, many of whom by Donald Trump, the President of the United States. If this doesn't make your blood boil, what the F is wrong with you? So these are screenshots of the actual documents from the release of the Epstein files. Additional info, again, just trying to find out trying to find out the NYPD detective on the FBI sex trafficking task force that called me a couple of weeks ago and spoke to me about some of these issues. How is in contact? He participated regularly, paying money. Okay, so this is a section. He participated regularly in paying money to force me to blank with him, and he was present when my uncle murdered my newborn child and disposed of the body in Lake Michigan. That's insane. Like, this is insanity. Like, you can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. You really just can't. Like, how sick is it that the sitting president of the United States is having an allegation thrown at him? Not only is it an allegation, but there must have been some factual credibility to this to have it sitting in a actual FBI report that has been investigated. You're telling me that the DOJ wants to tweet, wants to put out posts on X, wants to put out PSA reminders that some of the stuff in these documents are just alleged? Baby, this is DOJ documents. You think they're just going to throw out any sort of information that is unfounded and falsified about high-ranking officials, like a president who's looking to run and campaign for presidency? Absolutely not. So to sit here and for the DOJ to sit here and put out tweets being like, anything that's in those documents may be untrue, it's not fully investigated, I find that to be a complete lie, and they're trying to cover their asses because they did not have enough time to redact Trump's name. Not only enough time to redact Trump's name fully, but redact the actual documents correctly. And we'll get into it because there's posts about that. But for anyone to sit here and say, and make this claim, he participated regularly in paying money to force me to, obviously, a sexual act with him, and he was present when my uncle murdered my newborn child and disposed of the body in Lake Michigan. Why do you think someone would murder a child? Because that is full-on DNA evidence of an assault. It's insane. It's insane that our president is having these allegations thrown against him in actual Department of Justice investigatory documents that is now being released to the public. Insane. All right, let's go ahead and continue on here. And then this is what I was talking about in regards to, because I heard rumbles that the DOJ, Pam Bondi, Kash Patel didn't correctly actually redact the documents for the release of those Epstein files. They incorrectly redacted the documents, and basically you can copy, paste, and throw things over it. And I saw a video of it, and it's true. But this is a post about it as well, which I find completely insane and just incompetent. So the Epstein files on the DOJ website allow you to highlight the redacted text, copy it, and paste it into another document, which reveals what was hidden. You can also press Control F and search for Trump with a space to see his name appear more than 600 times. Mr. Trump, if you are so innocent, why is your name appearing 600 times in an investigation into a man who was investigated and convicted for sex trafficking children? 600 plus times? I think that is a little bit sus. Just saying. And we all know it's sus at this point. But let's look at some of this here. Yeah, so If you search his name, you could literally find his name 600 times. You guys caught this too, right? Donald J. Trump had R'd her along with Jeffrey Epstein, noted some girl with a funny name took me into a fancy hotel or building. That's how it happened. All this, she was advised to call the police, but she replied, I can't. They will kill me. She did contact the police and was later found with her head blown off. Officers on the scene stated there was no way it was a suicide. The coroner ruled it a suicide anyway. These men and the people in power are so powerful. They're able to literally manipulate some of the most intelligent human beings in our government, not only to cover up a murder, but cover up literal assault of minors and children. And here's where it comes, the coincidence of it all. This can't all be a coincidence. All these allegations can't all be coincidences. At some point, you have to look at the facts. You have to look at now the track record that these documents are providing us with the Epstein files of complaints from multiple separate people who have not ever interacted with each other, most likely. And yet they're all having the same experience with who? Oh, Trump with a space after it because you gotta type it in correctly. Donald Trump is complicit in the crimes of Jeffrey Epstein. And when you have the track record from decades and decades continuously piling up with different victims claiming the same or similar assaults happened to them, you have to think, oh my God, this man is a psycho. And he's running the United States of America, not to make America great, but to make sure he doesn't go to jail. Okay? So the fact that this whole thing was covered up here in regards to a complaint to the FBI, she was afraid to go to the FBI, and then she was found with her head blown off. This is complete insanity and corruption at its finest by high-ranking, powerful, rich, wealthy white men. So let's go ahead and watch this video here. 1 second. Let's watch this here.
For unspeakable crimes. The investigation of Jeffrey Epstein's horrendous crimes is now closed. Epstein was one of the worst predators ever known, a sexual trafficker, an abuser of women and young girls, a man arrested and imprisoned for unspeakable crimes. Attorney General Pam Bondi, FBI Director Kash Patel, and Deputy FBI Director Dan Bongino have released their final report. It says that Epstein never had a client list. There was never any conspiracy, and what evidence of criminality there is can't be released. You may be wondering why the Department of Justice is covering up the truth about Jeffrey Epstein. Surely, with so many crimes involving sex trafficking, there were powerful clients. Why is it that we can't know who they were? Why did they escape consequences? The answer to these questions and more are a complete and total mystery.
Honestly, I think they're all gonna get away with it. I think Trump, I think Maxwell, I think anyone in those files that assaulted young minor children, girls and boys, I think, like I said prior, this goes so much deeper than what the American public and what the normal everyday public can comprehend when it comes to the sadistic crimes that these people are committing. And it's not in the name of just wanting to do these crimes. It's in the name of a higher power that these psychos are worshiping, and they call it God. And they use your Christian Bible to cloak themselves in the lies they are telling you. But the truth is, I think it's sacrifice. And I'm not one that will go off on conspiracy theories. Obviously, I think conspiracy theories could be a possibility, but without facts and tangible evidence, conspiracy theories just don't hold it for me. They don't hold water. But these Epstein documents that are coming out show that the allegations, the conspiracy theories, the theories of these elites harvesting and sacrificing children, and then having an entire island dedicated to that. And now we're having all of the evidence pile up in regards to the people that were involved. And now for some reason, these people are being covered up. The actual assaulters, the actual criminals are being covered up for so they don't get in trouble, so they don't face consequences. Put it together. There is something way deeper, way sicker, more cynical than the public can actually grasp that these people are doing, that these wealthy, powerful people are doing. And it's not in the name of God. It is in the name of their evil spirit, their evil deity, and they are trying to worship the idea of power, the idea of ethnocentrism, the idea of white men being in charge of this world, that they are the gods. And you know, Eric Trump, I think it was Eric Trump who said it. I saw something in regard, a video like a while ago, and I did a video on it. I don't want to go search it now. Actually, you know what? I can search it on my YouTube. I can, because I know I did like a little video on it. Let's see here. I know I did like a little video on Eric Trump. Can I search it here? Trump. What's his son's name? Eric, or I think it's Eric. Here we go. Yes, there we go. I got it. So smart. Okay, let's watch it here.
The wildest author could not have scripted this book and the trials and tribulations and twists and turns to get to where we are today. And look how much better humanity and our world is. You know, we're saving Christianity. We're saving God. We're saving the family unit.
We're saving Christianity. We're saving God. We're saving the family unit. The fact that a Christian would say that they're saving God, that gives a God complex in my mind. It means that you think you're above God, that God needs saving. And this is what these sick individuals think, that they are God. And I know this is a crazy conspiracy theory here, but I have always said, this world is so evil, and a true God would not allow it to get this bad, to where we are seeing a complete upheaval of what American values were and how they continue to flourish on the demise of minor children. A true God would not allow famine, starvation, sickness to thrive in this world. And this is why I think that the fact that these men are saying that basically they are God, it's because, here's my theory, I'm not saying all Christians, but I am saying these faux Christians are holding the real God captive. That's all I'm saying. I don't know who God is, man, woman, black, white, Chinese, I don't know. But I feel like God is being held captive in my own mind. And I've always thought that because it's like, this world is so evil. There's so much evil in this world that thrives off of continuous repetition of evil actions, that no God would sit there on his creation and say, I'm going to let you go through this. No God would sit here and say, go through this, die, and then you can come with me and be happy and full of life and, you know, peaceful. Why would we? It's a lie. It's all a lie. Why would you sit in a space where you are present, where you can feel yourself, where you know your soul is currently, and go through hell and think that your afterlife will be better because you suffered here? It's a lie. It's a manipulation because we don't know. And I was having this conversation with myself the other night. This is now going into not legal at all. This is going into spirituality tonight. But I had a conversation with myself and I said, why is it that we continuously think about the afterlife as something that will be damnation or being thrived upon and in, like heaven hell type thing, when we don't know the afterlife? And I'm saying people have said they've been to the afterlife, but there is no valid, factual, tangible evidence of the afterlife. So why do we continuously focus on the afterlife instead of focusing on where we are right now in the present and being happy and helping one another? And this is why I say, like, these people like Epstein, like Trump, are evil people because they believe they are God and that we are here to worship them. I mean, the fact that Trump was so easily able to turn his base against him in regards to the Epstein files, it shows how manipulative, diabolical, and evil he is. He manipulated you for his to vote for him. And not only did he manipulate you to vote for him, but then he turned his back on you because that's what he does best. So we're going to go ahead and move on here. But I also wanted to look at this picture here because this picture is unnerving to me. Because why do you have this many pictures with a man that you supposedly don't know? Oh my God, wait, what happened to it? Where'd it go? There we go. So how do you have this many pictures, like, with a man that you supposedly don't know, didn't really know, but we all know you were friends with him? But if you were claiming that you don't know someone, if I am claiming I don't know someone, I'm not seen in pictures with them anywhere. I am sorry. Maybe I have a backbone. I don't know. Maybe I have some, dignity in myself. But the only reason he would say he does not know him and stick and have as many pictures with Epstein is because Epstein has something over him. And what Epstein had over him was what is in these files and what will continue to be released. So I'm just saying, if I didn't like you, I'm not being around you. But if you're holding something over my head, I'm going to make sure I'm there and smiling. And I think that's what these pictures depict. Trump knew that Epstein had him in a corner, and he said, I have to be the happy dog, and I have to go to these events. I have to be pictured with him this many times. And as soon as Trump got himself some power, he tried to distance himself, but it's a little too late for the crimes you committed while you were in the presence of Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah, it's just too many pictures for me with Ghislaine, Trump, Jeffrey, young girls. It's just not okay. It's not okay. But yeah, and this is another picture that just is so gross to me. And apparently this is a real picture. It is a real picture. But let me read this caption here. If this picture does not turn your stomach, there is something deeply wrong with you. The victims are children, not young women. Get your head and heart straight. Reject the cult of pedophiles. Exactly. And honestly, we already know it's a cult of pedophiles. But this picture is so, I don't even want to look at it. It's just so disturbing to know that this happened. This was someone's child. This was a human being. This was an innocent child who, by the picture you can see, was tied up after sitting on Jeffrey Epstein's lap. And it's just how can we sit here and allow these things to continue happening and turn a blind eye? And I get it. We all have our lives. We all have to live. We all have to pay bills. We all have to take care of children. But look what they're doing right now. I mean, the influx of children that this administration has provided due to their immigration policies that are unconstitutional, where are all of these children being held? Where are these children that are being deported being held? Not only are they not being accounted for, adults, young women, and children, boys and girls not being accounted for, but they are disappearing. And yet we are continuously every day going about our lives day to day. And it's like, now we have all of this, documentation and evidence coming through about the Epstein files. Doesn't it now raise a red flag for you that, oh my God, this administration now has unlimited access to withhold, take, and abduct children from their parents and not give answers to where these young women, children, boys, and girls are? It's sick. It's effing diabolically sick. And it's all a mechanism to serve their purpose of being in power and doing what they want to who they want when they want, because they are, quote unquote, God. So that picture with Jeffrey Epstein and that little girl is just defiling. It's just gross. So let's go ahead and continue on here. We're just kind of going through X here, some of the top tweets regarding the Epstein files and what the hell is going on with the Epstein files and all the documents that were recently released. And it's just continues to get more and more disturbing. So let's look at this one. Jeffrey Epstein has recordings of Donald Trump with victims. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Let's go ahead and look at this one. You know what? FBI, one thing I need you to do is, if you're photocopying things, if you're printing things, can we have some actual documents and font that is easy to read? Like, please. Like, I cannot stand this outdated typewriter font. Like, oh my God. Who made typewriter font, by the way? Maybe it's me because I'm getting a little bit over the edge here, but like over the hill. But like, this font is so difficult to read. I need these are not real glasses. I need actual glasses now. But let's go ahead and get into this one here. Blank knew about criminal activity which happened in multiple states, on airplanes, etc. Claimed there were films of men who were recorded. These men are prominent figures such as Epstein, President Bill Clinton, and President Donald Trump. Maxwell is also on the tapes. So in regards to this statement alone, there's no incriminating evidence that what was on the tapes, well, it said criminal activity, but we don't know what kind of criminal activity it could be. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of criminal activities that can go on. But from the gist of these files, we can kind of come to a conclusion of what kind of criminal activity was going on these planes in these places with these individuals that were being recorded, according to this document from the DOJ and the Epstein file drop, that it was most likely allegedly sexual abuse of women and minor boys and girls. So again, it's just like, and this is why the one allegation, because I don't want to call it a story, the one allegation that we looked at prior to this was so disturbing. Because if the FBI can turn their back and turn a blind eye once to a claim of sexual abuse, and then all of a sudden that person ends up, dead with their head blown off, and then it was ruled a suicide, even though it's obviously not a suicide. The fact that the FBI can do that once, how many other times can and have they done that? Because people in power are wealthy. And it's like they continue to turn a blind eye, and these people continue to get away with crimes because our government allows them to. So in regards to this document here, I mean, it's very hard when so here's the legal aspect of it all. Our justice system is an adversarial system. That means whoever has the best case, whoever has the most persuasive case, whoever is able to come up with the best story will win the case. It's not truly about justice. It's about having a manipulative story. It's about having a lot of money, and it's about winning. It's not about justice. And when it comes to these cases, it continuously shows the effect of what wealth can do when you create or engage or act in a criminal matter. And what wealth does is destroy our country. What wealth does is destroy the justice for victims. What wealth does is allow people like Donald Trump, Jeffrey Epstein, Bill Clinton, all of these people that are alleged to have done crimes in these Epstein files get away with their crimes and continue doing it because they don't learn their lesson, because they don't get imprisoned for their criminal actions. And that's the problem with wealth in this country. It creates this air of untouchability for people. And that's why wealth is the problem. But yeah, so let's go into this one. Jeffrey Epstein has recordings. We already heard about that. Anything else here? That's so funny. Oh my God. You guys see that? Oh my God. When you tell him that flag is 14 years old, can we talk about that? Can we talk about whatchamacallit? Trump telling a little 8-year-old girl that she sounds cute? Oh my God, we have to find it. 1 minute. It has to be somewhere. It has to be somewhere. It has to be somewhere. Trump, 8-year-old, cute. Let's see if it pops up. Here we go.
Good. I'm fine. You sound so beautiful and cute. How old are you?
I'm 8.
Wow, so smart. You sound so smart. So do you have a good?
There's that memory foam. Sorry, but I feel like I know when I'm talking to a child. I mean, you can tell when you're talking to a child. They have the lighter voice. Like, you just know. So for our president to sit here and say, oh my God, you sound so beautiful and cute, damn well knowing that that's a child on the other end, and you're in the Epstein files being alleged to have these crimes that you committed against children, and you're gonna sit here and say an 8-year-old is beautiful and cute? I guess some things really don't change. It was just like memory foam for him, like those mattresses. Oh my God, that was really sick. But like, come on. This man is obviously disturbed, and he has no soul. He has no morality, and it shows in this clip here. Why would you sit here as president of the United States knowing that you're talking to a little child? Doesn't matter, boy or girl. You can just hear the innocence in their voice. You can hear the prepubescent voice, and you're going to sit there and be like, you're so beautiful and cute. That's weird. If someone ever said that to my child about their voice, I would be like, back up. No, you're never talking or seeing my child ever again. Like, it's so weird. So weird. But let's go ahead and continue on here. I don't think there is really anything else here other than I wanted to discuss Nicki, but at the same time, I don't want to discuss Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj is just, she's been trash ever since the end of her Pink Print era. And I stand 10 toes down on that. Barbs, you can come for me. But when was the last true bop that Nicki Minaj had? So, y'all can have her. Y'all can have her over there. Like, just, you can have that fake Barbie, please. Yeah, I don't think there's really anything else that I wanted to discuss here. I love how all of these people have defended Trump hands down for literal a decade now at this point, knowing damn well that he was in that list, in those files.
What did he do? Da, 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 da. And one of the great mysteries to me and a lot of other people is we've had reporting for some time. Donald Trump is not on Epstein's list. There's nothing in there that's really damning about Donald Trump. And as Susie Wild says, not damning about Donald Trump.
According to the chief.
Or
there's nothing damning about Donald Trump. But this man was alleged to have murdered and arred a child. And then arred the child's child. Come on. These people have have been defending a pedo.
One of the great mysteries
for 10 years now.
In this. Not been like, what's Donald Trump hiding? What did he do? Da, 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 da. It's like, why, if he's not in these files, which all the reporting says he's not, why is he so obsessed on blocking access to the files? Is he trying to protect somebody?
Joe, you got to the actual heart of the question, and it's actually not been reported. One of the reasons Marjorie Taylor Greene got on board with Massey and my effort is she fundamentally believed that Trump was not implicated.
Yeah.
And she would call the president and say, look, just get these out. I don't know why you're not getting it out. And she would tell Massey and me, of course he's going to come around. And every press conference we had, we never made it about Donald Trump. We made it about the survivors. The survivors pleaded with Donald Trump. You can be a hero. No previous president has done this. Release the files. And what people are asking, and frankly, even I'm asking, is what are they hiding? Why is it that they're not releasing the draft 60-count indictment when they only charged Epstein with 2 counts? Why aren't they releasing the 82-page prosecution memo of all the implications he had with rich and powerful folks? Why are they protecting this Epstein class? And why aren't they releasing the FBI interviews? Every time they do one of these things of concealing, they're just raising further.
They make it worse. It's true. Well, then, I think, on that note, we're going to go ahead and end the stream for tonight. I just want to say that, can we please think with logic? Can we please understand how a track record works? Can we please understand how people continue to cover up these crimes? How our president sitting in the White House right now has unbridled, unlimited access to accessing and altering and manipulating and doctoring these documents to remove himself from any criminal wrongdoing? Can we talk about the conflict of interest now that these documents are being released, that someone who is implicated in those documents has access to those documents? I mean, that's a big conflict of interest. Can we talk about how the DOJ, the administrative agencies that serve our country, now serve Trump, has access to these files to alter, doctor, and distribute as at will in regards to when they want to distribute those documents, as long as it doesn't implicate Trump? Can we talk about how many conflicts of interest this administration has when it comes to providing justice for the victims that Epstein created? Not only Epstein, but as well Trump and everyone else in those files, whether Democrat or Republican. And I just want to say this. I don't motherfucking care if Beyonce Knowles is pictured or videoed with evidence in those files. I would want Beyonce brought to criminal court, prosecuted, and put in a jail. And that is saying a lot, because I love my girl. I love my girl Beyonce. But if that girl did something to one child, she deserves to be in jail, under the jail. And that's the difference between someone like me, who has a normal cognitive mind that isn't engulfed in cult-like behavior and ministry, versus you. maggots, I don't care who you are. If you do a crime, you deserve to be punished, especially if it's a criminal crime where you are hurting children. But yet you all continue to turn a blind eye, the maggots, to what is currently going on in our government. The biggest cover-up and display of unbridled power and centralizing of power that this government is doing, and it's going to destroy America. And you are letting it happen because you want to own the libs. You want to own trans people and make them afraid from ever stepping outside again. You want to deport every immigrant and make anyone who's brown feel afraid to ever step outside again. All in the name of protecting Donald Trump. But anyway, guys, this is the end. If you haven't already, you guys can go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Always. I do appreciate it. And I will catch you guys on the next actual, episode. This was more just like a chill, let's squabble through X and see what's going on kind of night. Just chill. But I will see you guys on the next actual episode of the Civil Point Podcast. I'm your host, Ariana Dieva. You don't want to miss out. Go ahead, subscribe, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Bye.